My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Pat Riley. Hey, Brain Freeze Network listeners.
We are the hosts of the Goods from the Woods podcast, coming to you every week from Los Angeles, California.
Listen to the show. We cover a lot of different topics. The band Milli Vanilli. We've gone into Collision in Korea when there was pro wrestling in North Korea, and Ric Flair almost got arrested by the Kim Jong-il government.
We're talking celebrity restaurants. We're talking Nicolas Cage. Our show's been running since 2013. We've got over 200 episodes to choose from, so scroll down our feed, find something you like, and be sure to check us out. The Goods from the Woods podcast here on Brain Freeze Podcast Network.
Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week we talk about the world of DC.
Oh, you can't do that. I'm barely keeping this situation under control.
How do you have any left? I thought it would just be pus and blood at this point.
Jesus Christ. Dash will turn off the podcast.
Oh, you should have seen the title and knew. Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC, blah, 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 blah. We got a review.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
What a strange tone to set off the top.
Hey, we got a fucking review, whatever. From Aslan_Rex, alongside a
Wait, like King Aslan?
I mean,
like from Narnia?
I mean, it's Aslan.
Oh, okay.
So not Aslan.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, fucking settle down. Oh my god.
Aslan listens?
Oh, these. Thought I fucking boarded up that wardrobe years ago. Alongside a 5-star review on iTunes with the title, "Are you guys at 20 reviews yet?" We are at 20 reviews. I'm hoping you meant 30 reviews, and no, we're not. But you're helping.
We're not. You'll get us there.
Because this is like almost...
get us there.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm almost there.
Oh my god, get me to 30 reviews.
I think this is like 24 or 25, so we're almost there.
Oh shit,
we're getting close.
So we're approaching doing a video episode.
Yeah, they're edging me there.
I mean, it's definitely edging because we've been at this for months.
That's true. But they go on to say, the Dr. DC podcast is an engaging show that encourages people to ask questions about various DC comics, characters, and themes. I enjoy the host's joking attitudes towards each other. It's more of animosity, but it's fine. And the funny things they make up for question askers' various screen names. Richard, maybe don't read this on the podcast. It's not remotely funny. You know what? It doesn't need to be funny. Don't you guys think that it needs?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, you know it doesn't need to be funny.
Yeah. God, no. Yeah. Trust me, that was never a precedent we tried to set.
If anything, that would be a change of pace.
Oh, it would be a quite welcomed one. So thank you very much, Aslan Rex.
Aslan?
Oh, Your Majesty!
That's problematic now. Liam Neeson's.
Yeah. I have a tough... I'll be honest.
Isn't that like a weird interview?
Yeah.
Like what? I mean,
it was really out of context.
Let's set aside the actual problematic elements of what was said and everything like that. Like, just imagine being in just like a junket interview. Those things are supposed to be fucking softballs.
Yeah.
Like, you just be like, oh, well, it was fun to film this movie.
I mean,
blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a junket. You do like 100 of them in a day.
I don't think it...
What the fuck happened?
I don't know if he was necessarily even pushed into that. It was more of just...
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but it was more of just like, oh, well, look, how was it to do his character? A few years ago, someone raped my friend and I want to kill a black man. Like, it was like, whoa.
I know. It kind of feels like the Telltale Heart thing got to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I've kept this a secret for too long. It's just like, I know, like, imagine just being like working for whatever like news outlet. And you're just like, oh, like, what was it like to work with this director? And he's like, have you ever just wanted to kill someone based on their race?
Have you ever grabbed a metal pipe and walked the streets of London?
Like, what the fuck?
And he's just
what the fuck?
So you enjoyed making that film?
Yeah, like. When I was reading that, I was like, I mean, obviously, there's a lot to unpack in what was said, but I was like, the fact that it was said, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I could just imagine being his publicist, like sitting in the corner and be like, no.
I know, right? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I have a particular set of pipes.
Oh no.
Metal pipes that make me a nightmare for people
Of color.
For people like you. What do you mean people like you?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck, man?
Well, on that note, let's talk about some more news.
Yeah, let's move on to like less Liam Neeson-y news.
So we got a first Birds of Prey teaser and a first image of Harley Quinn released.
Well, not only
It was not really it's barely even a teaser, but it's more of just some production shots.
We have that teaser that's kind of it's just like them in a room
having fun,
quick
doing testing probably for like costumes and stuff.
Probably, yeah. So we've seen a bunch of those. Then we've seen a couple of set photos of Harley Quinn. We've seen a couple of set photos of Helena Bertinelli, Huntress. We've seen a couple of set photos of Dinah Lance, Black Canary.
Yeah.
It looks good, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's a little bit different.
It's very kind of grounded. It's very sort of like street level, which works for Birds of Prey.
What do you think of Harley's sort of little more bubblegum outfit?
I don't know. I kind of like it. It looks like she dressed herself as opposed to like dressing out of the Joker's like pre-selected wardrobe for her.
I would agree with that. Yeah, without a doubt. I'm actually more interested in this.
Yeah.
I think like if the palettes sort of are represented by her outfit and the color scheme and stuff,
yeah,
I'm super into that.
Yeah.
I hope that it feels like both feminine and like bad guy-y, you know what I mean? Like I think if we get the sort of juxtaposing of those two worlds, I think it'll be really, really fun.
Yeah. Have you seen the Black Canary images?
Yeah. Boy, howdy.
She looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am 100% up for that.
Yeah. Everything so far looks really dope. So.
Yeah. I'm on board.
It's early days. They're filming, but I'm excited. I can't wait until we get to the point in sort of like the marketing cycle where we get like a proper teaser or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it looks great. And you know what? Even just like the tone, the feel of that like little costume test kind of teaser that they put out, I was like, I'm into this. I dig it.
Yeah. If it's like a sort of like
kind of got like a glam rock kind of thing, but which makes sense because I think Black Canary, they're taking that idea that she's also like a musician, which is from the comics, and throwing that in there. So like, I like that idea of something like a little punk, a little, kind of glam.
If we get like an almost rated R glam, like Gem and the Holograms, I'll be up for that.
It's supposed to be rated R.
Yeah, if we get a rated R like Gem and the Hologram sort of vibe, I'd be 100% up for that.
Yeah, it's dope.
I think it's so far left from everything else that I think 100% I'm up for it.
Yeah, me too.
So speaking of some interesting information that we got that may lead to something that's very good.
Sure.
We may have the next sort of major DC event. Been getting a lot of rumors and stuff about this, but Bendis has been teasing this Leviathan.
Yeah.
So, which is, I mean, this is a previously mentioned, like, is it an organization?
Leviathan is an organization. It's not new. It exists already in the comics, but since he came on Action Comics as the new,
people are expecting the next big thing from him, I think.
Well, we've been building to it, right? Like, there's been all this stuff about like this underground sort of criminal society. We've introduced this new villain, the Red Cloud, but it's all connected to something bigger. And we've gotten a couple of, I don't know. To me, it feels like a sort of Dr. Manhattan-y looking kind of blue explosion and things like that. But it's part of this story that's now called Leviathan Rising. Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're going to get a reveal of some kind of like, what is Leviathan's plan? What are they working on? What's the danger? But I mean, like, we've sort of been slowly building to it basically since Bendis arrived. So it's been a long time coming, but yeah, we're coming up on learning what their sort of deal is.
So, what was their deal previously?
Basically just like vague criminal organization.
Yeah.
I assume that Bendis is going to give them a new angle of some kind.
For sure.
But there have been a couple of weird little things in the comics that I don't know if it's just incidental or if it's deliberate. They still feel kind of Dr. Manhattan-y.
Yeah.
Like a big blue explosion that just makes things like disappear.
Yeah.
And things like that. Like it's like that's kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of his jam. So like I don't know if it's tied to Doomsday Clock or if they were just like, we need a color for the explosion. What is an unnatural color for an explosion? Blue. Well, and like it could just be coincidence. It could be not connected at all. But like because I'm also reading Doomsday Clock because we're in the middle of this stuff.
You're starting to like Charlie. Like
I am. Yeah, I'm doing
connecting all those strings to photos and things
exactly
like that.
It, yeah.
I think that the problem is I think with DC is that like so many colors have like connotations towards something else. If they made it green, you'd be like, it's kryptonite, like or it's
kryptonite,
like,
or it's the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like there's so many like. I think blue is one of the more harmless colors.
Yes. No, you're right, and there are only so many colors. Right?
Yeah.
You know, like and people aren't gonna like be like, oh no, that's too periwinkle to be Dr. Manhattan. It's just like, is it blue? It's him. Like, so you're right. It's probably not connected, but it does. Just because I'm in the middle of those other things, it's hard not to draw.
Without a doubt, yeah. I'm hoping for something that's a little more grounded for like a DC big event. That being said, obviously those are two very different. Those are competing terms, but yeah, I think that. I think somebody needs to pull the reins back at this point. We're getting so big and esoteric. Well, I mean, I mean, from Dark Knight's Metal through No Justice through Scott Snyder's Justice League, and spoiler alert, if you've read the Justice League Annual, the source wall is now not only broken but completely destroyed. Yeah. Like the entire multiverse is going to die in a couple of months. Yeah.
So on one end, it's like everything you knew about the structure of reality is coming apart. So
yeah,
it would be kind of nice to just be like, oh no, this is just like, these are crooks.
Yeah,
these are crooks with tech.
Yeah. I would love to pull that back a little bit, but I guess we'll see. We're finally getting some new details about the Batman film. So the little bits have been coming out. We're finding out, like, I think we've got as much of a solidified answer from like if Batfleck was happening.
Yes.
Which he hasn't specifically said he's not the Batman. He's saying that basically his involvement is, if at all, almost nothing.
This Batman movie, they are looking for someone younger to be Batman. What and Ben Affleck has basically been like looking forward to seeing what you do with this.
Yeah. I think he's
what hasn't been said, and what I think those people who are of the Batfleck, I won't use the word cult, but but of the Batfleck like super passionate fandom or whatever are hanging on to is that he hasn't come out and said, I am done playing Batman. I think the idea being, if this movie is a younger Batman, maybe future we'll get one that's from this era of BVS and Justice
maybe
League or
the thing that's been going around the internet so much lately is Batman Beyond.
Right.
We could potentially have him be,
which would also be cool.
Which I would 100% be on. Did you see that Andrew Garfield people were pushing for?
As Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if I'm up for that, but
I actually think he's too old. I think if you're going to the trouble,
he's like in his 30s. Yeah.
The original pitch was a teen Batman thing.
Yeah.
For that cartoon, the original pitch was a teen Batman, and then they were like, nah, I don't know that works. They were like, well, what if we put it in the future? And then it's a young kid and Bruce is the Alfred.
Yeah.
And that's how Batman Beyond even came to exist. So I think if you were going to make a movie, you should cast someone young. Like the way you would ideally cast a Spider-Man. I know Andrew Garfield played Spider-Man, but you know what I mean? Like, we all like that Tom Holland is young enough to play that.
I think they finally nailed it.
I think that makes sense for a Terry McGinnis too, right? So
I think you would have to do the opposite of Tom Holland in a lot of ways. I think that Tom Holland is great, but he makes sense for a very sort of naive.
Sorry, I didn't mean him specifically.
Child. No. I know. I'm just saying that, like, I think that, like, having that be part of the conversation, I think that it's important to go Tom Holland, because I thought some people were like Tom Holland for Batman, and it's just like, no, okay. No. I think that Tom Holland works perfectly for Spider-Man because he has that sort of like childish, immature thing. You need to have like the brooding art kid in the background to be Batman. I think that
sure,
like
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch enough, like Disney Channel or whatever to be like, who are like the 17 or 18 or like 19-year-old like star or even just actors that would be. Do you know what? Let's throw it out there because he's the only like young actor I can name. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think you should be looking young like that if you're doing Batman Beyond. But yeah, I mean, I like Batfleck. I think that's my favorite one because I think he plays Bruce and Batman the best of all of
It's
them.
true. I finally got to show my wife the Justice League movie the other day.
Oh. My 18th favorite DC movie.
Yes, you've gone on record.
Yeah.
And
enjoyed the Patreon.
She was not on board for Alfred, but she really enjoyed.
She didn't like Jeremy Irons.
I think she was just like, that's not her idea of Alfred. I think more than anything else. And it's a very different Alfred.
Yeah. Did he seem too outwardly menacing?
Yeah.
Whereas he should keep it under the surface.
Yes, just
only him to know.
Bubbling. Hopefully, just at some point coming out, but mostly through his use of needle and thread. But I think she did like Batfleck for the most part, yeah. And I mean, I think that's my favorite portrayal of Batman.
Yes.
I think that just
in Justice League specifically,
just the way that I think you don't get enough of it, but I think that Justice League Batman is probably my favorite.
Oh, interesting.
Just because I think that like they got the terror so right in that.
That's how I feel about BVS. I think the first like 2 or 3 times you see Batman in that movie, it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, why is anyone a criminal in Gotham?
It's terrifying. Yeah. It's terrifying. I think that for me it was too hard to enjoy anything because of Batman versus Superman. But I really, really loved how terrifying that Batman was. If you could take like that terrifying portion of it and then somehow merge it with like the Dark Knight Batman, I think that you would have this perfect sort of Batman at that point. But yeah, it's true. I liked Batfleck and I would be okay with that, but I'm also totally comfortable moving forward.
Do you know what? I'm at the point now where I love Batfleck. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm okay with it. I want to see both of them again.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like, I'm fine without a Superman sequel for a while at least. You know, we're doing this thing where we're getting to see other characters. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't like them or I don't want to see them again or I don't think they're deserving of movies or whatever. But, you know, we're getting Birds of Prey. We're finally seeing like Black Canary and Huntress and stuff like that. We're getting Shazam. We're getting. Like,
I need us to
like,
get.
I'm cool with that, man. You know, like let's even Wonder Woman, right? Like, we're only getting the second ever Wonder Woman movie.
It's true.
So, like, even with that. I think we might even be getting complacent already, but like we're going to see the Cheetah and Maxwell Lord, like these other comic book characters are going to come to life. I'm cool with that for a bit.
I think I want a different visualization of Superman the next time we get it. Like I don't mind Henry Cavill. I mean, specifically like the way they film these movies right now, I don't like the meshing of that look with Superman. I just found that like there's sort of like high contrast, like CGI sort of that I want it, like, let's get past this. Let's get sort of, if the Joker does well, the Joker movie, let's maybe look at like a weird side story Superman for later on, something that's a little bit more cinema, something that's a little bit different looking to keep it low budge, like whatever. But like I just let's give some time that it doesn't feel like it need to be a next like big blockbuster movie. It needs to be a Superman movie because I'm tired of that look.
We're all over the place a little bit with this, but on that Superman note, I read a thing. I don't know how like accurate it is. It could be completely fake, but that purportedly Cavill did shoot a cameo in Shazam.
I saw that
due to some of his like contract negotiations and things with Warner Brothers, it might not be allowed to be used. Like they might not be able to put it in Shazam because his other like stuff is being negotiated.
If it's in there, it's probably just like a weird one-off thing that
it's a cameo. He's not like in Shazam.
No, exactly. So I feel like,
but it would be kind of fun though.
Yeah. I you brought up Wonder Woman. One of the other things that I read was it was just a one-off thing that Patty Jenkins was saying that then the third Wonder Woman, if she's so lucky to make that, she doesn't want to do past anymore. She wants to like look towards the future, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, like do like a present day one.
Yeah, which
Makes sense. Got World War One. We'll get the 80s, and then
which
is like I really like that concept for the trilogy too. You know, like what's a cool way to do a trilogy for an immortal character?
Jump through time
is just like they're always around. Just like pick your era, right? Like,
do you think they would be ballsy enough to do like a fourth one that's like in the future?
Probably not,
because that would be so cool.
Like Wonder Woman Beyond,
like Blade Runner, like Wonder Woman.
I doubt it. It'd be neat, but I doubt it.
I that would be awesome.
If they do a third one, and hopefully they do, I want to see Dr. Psycho in there as a villain.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll see.
I wonder if he's sane. Seems like he's a pretty...
Oh, he's so well adjusted.
Yeah.
He doesn't just hate women because he's like a grotesque, ugly, like soul of a person.
Oh, the internet. He's the internet?
He's men.
Yeah. Cool. Next piece of news here is... so we talked about this a little bit before, but the DC Super Pets TV show...
No, it's a movie.
It's a movie now.
Yeah.
I thought it was initially a TV show. It's a movie and it's coming out in 2021.
It has a release date.
It has a fucking release date. And it's not that far away. It's only a couple of years.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think if it's a fun family film, you get Crypto, you get like maybe Ace the Bat Hound or, you know, whatever, like Wonder Woman's Kangaroo or like Tobo the Octopus. Like who knows what they're going to throw in there. But I'm in. Do you know what I kind of hope? I don't think they'll do this, but I kind of hope it's in there is that Detective Chimp like is in there to bring the pets together because Detective Chimp has the power to communicate with any animal.
Oh, yeah.
So to get this like super intelligent, kind of surly.
Oh, I'm into that.
Immortal, linguistically inclined chimpanzee to bring these weird like superpowered animals together.
I'm up for that.
I'd be into that.
Yeah, I 100%. I mean, and I hope it's like
I think I'm actually kind of excited.
I hope it's like Teen Titans Go kind of vibe.
Yeah, like that or like that or sort of like Lego movie kind of sensibility, you know what I mean? Like just kind of like have fun, acknowledge the fact that it's a fucking ridiculous premise and then just go for it. You know?
By the way, this is completely this is very off topic, but it reminded me of it. Have you seen? You guys don't have cable, right?
No.
So there's this like Huggies commercial that's been popping up a lot.
Okay.
And I don't know who it's for because they have like a rap in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's like something about...
Was this commercial made in 1997?
Well, it feels like it could be because like they actually use the word rad pull-ups.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like this rap, it's like, drinking from sippy cups. Like, now you're using these rad pull-ups. Like,
listen, people got to get paid. And I've done embarrassing auditions for different things and stuff like that.
You've done some surly things for money, yeah.
You know, like, that's totally a thing. But imagine being a rapper and on your demo.
Oh, and the guy like, doing it is very white.
This rap you did for like...
Yeah. It's the funniest thing. And every time I'm like, who? It feels like they're trying to target the kids, but the kids are too young to even comprehend
but also the idea of doing like a stupid white rap like as a way to be hip is literally 15 years old by now. Like that's even tired for white people. Yeah. Like,
well, and then I'm like, they use the term rad, which I'm like, I mean, I feel like,
era.
But I feel like they're targeting.
Rap term.
I feel like they're targeting me a little bit because I that's a term that I use, and I'm like, I am old enough, and you, I mean, you have kids, so it's technically targeting us, but it's the weird. I'll have to pull it up at some point and show you. That sounds strange. It's the very strange.
Someone needs to place a call to Kimberly Clark's marketing department.
Yes, or me. It's fine. So the next. So I thought that this was already 100% solidified, but now we're actually getting. Apparently, it wasn't, and now we're actually getting more of a direction towards this being solidified, which is James Gunn directing Suicide Squad. So
I think that's also solidified. I think that also has a date. They announced a bunch of dates that included the movie.
The movie has a date. but he's still a maybe directing. He wrote it. But
okay,
but he didn't necessarily agree, like he hasn't signed on necessarily to direct.
Oh,
it.
really? I thought it was all like
I thought so too. But it's been all of this week. I've been getting like articles that so basically it looks like it's going to regardless be a very different Suicide Squad. Different characters in it.
Yeah, the thing I had read was that it was going to be an almost entirely different cast.
Yeah.
Which I think means
Harley Quinn.
Well, I think if you're being smart, you keep Viola Davis as Waller.
Well, yeah, that's you'd be an idiot not to.
I think you keep Will Smith as Deadshot.
Really?
And then if you get Harley in there, you keep Harley.
Would you keep Deadshot? Really?
Yeah.
I think he was okay, but he felt like I mean maybe this is the thing that needs to happen, but he felt like he was from a very different movie.
But it's Will Smith.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Just on box office, you keep Will Smith in your movie.
You would think so, and then you watch the Aladdin trailer that just came out.
Fuck.
Did you see it?
I did. Do you know what? I've really been liking all of these Disney sort of live action remakes, but this one looks cheap. It looks like they didn't build a set. It looks like the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
Like everything is on a green screen.
Also,
I don't get it.
When Will Smith, the genie shows up, he basically is like, ha 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 ha, it's Will. I mean, the genie. Like, it's so, like, he's not
I mean, in fairness, though, Robin Williams only played Robin Williams.
Yeah, and that's fine, but that's because Robin Williams is a comedic genius with, like,
I don't know. Will Smith's performance in this movie is not a thing I'm concerned about. I actually expect him to be entertaining and great. It's the look of the movie that I'm turned off.
Also, his look, it just looks like they just put like this fat face around his regular face, and so it looks unnatural when you actually see it.
It looks cartoony.
It looks like Henry Cavill's like digital like unmustaching.
It doesn't look as like well rendered. It could be because maybe some stuff is unfinished still, and they're just putting teaser stuff out. But it doesn't look as nicely finished CGI as like Beauty and the Beast.
Well, if you look at all the like
Beauty and the Beast is really like ornate and really like meticulous looking. But
if you look at all the previous like imagery that had been released like in the summer from this movie, he wasn't blue. He wasn't even genie looking. Yeah.
Well, but
so I don't know if that's like when he like transforms himself into
because
like,
isn't he plays like Prince Ali's valet?
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm wondering if it's those are the images because I know people were like, he's not even fucking blue.
Yeah. And then they were like, then Disney was like, give them blue genie. They want blue genie. And everyone was like, no. Make him not blue.
Yeah. It's very unsettling. Also, it felt Robin Williams. It was a cartoon, so it didn't feel so like racist, but this feels
I know what you mean.
This feels like it like almost blackfacey.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't.
It feels real problematic. I'll say that.
I mean, he's not white.
Yeah, that bad guy. What a snack.
Oh, Jafar?
Yeah.
Jafar's not supposed to be actually sexy.
Yeah, he's a
weird
treat.
Casting choice. Jafar's supposed to look like Willem Dafoe.
If I was Jasmine, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, like you poor vagrant. Give me Jafar.
You need magic to be attractive? This guy's already the vizier.
Yeah. I'm into it. Yeah. Like, and he's got this cool parrot. Like, I'm into it. That's
yeah.
What do you mean?
Disney. Where the fuck is our Iago footage?
Also, where's the Iago voice? Because I'm very concerned about that.
Yeah.
Is he going to talk or is he just going to be a parrot?
Who else has a distinctive voice? Bobcat Goldthwait could be.
That's one I can't do the voice.
I can't either, but it would be very distinctive.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Also, no monkey?
No, he has a Abu's on his shoulder.
But yeah, I'm wondering are they going to do voices for them? I don't know. I mean,
Abu didn't
no, but he's like it's But
that was a very good Abu.
I'm not going to redo it because it was great the first time.
Yeah, it was actually.
But I don't know. Yeah, that's that trailer.
At any rate, back to Suicide Squad. I do think you keep Will Smith as Deadshot. I liked him in that movie. I think he's good.
I could take or leave him. I think he was.
He's one of the reasons I can get through that movie.
Wow, okay. Well, because he's actually doing a performance.
He's acting so hard in some scenes to just be like, let's get to the next thing.
Did you? I can't remember what I was listening to the other day, but they were talking about the whole tattoo thing.
Oh, yeah, where they all got squad tattoos.
Yeah, and Will Smith's like, no. He didn't do it.
I think
No, he didn't do it.
Really?
Yeah, he's the only one who didn't do it.
Got to protect that brand.
Yeah. He's just like, ha ha, no. Nah.
Big Will. No thanks.
Yeah. I think he was smart enough to not do it.
That's funny.
But I just love that they all have these terrible tattoos from a movie that failed. With like poorly done because they did it to each other.
I don't think it's relevant though that the movie failed. I think what's important is whether or not they felt like a group and had a good time filming it. And if that's the case, then get your tattoo.
Yeah, I guess. I just very, very funny. So I don't know. I'm very curious about like what are the other Suicide Squad members that they could bring in? That would be significant enough. Like
Bronze Tiger or Count Vertigo, a Green Arrow villain who can like give people vertigo.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like has sort of dizziness powers.
Yeah.
You can bring them in. You can bring in King Shark if you
please
God, if you get rid of Killer Croc. Although
don't bring in Count Vertigo. The last thing I want to see is these shots where the screen's going.
I don't know. Bring in Count Vertigo. He's from the classic Ostrander Suicide Squad.
Don't give me. I don't want to see that on screen. If I do, I won't go see that movie. I do not want to see the screen go because it's gonna make me sick and it's gonna be like a thing that people talk about. And
DC execs, put Count Vertigo in the Suicide Squad movie. But don't put him in any of the promotional materials and don't announce that he's in the movie.
So that I show up and throw up all over the thing and it becomes this sort of weird like film where people come and like throw up. And, yeah.
But, you put a couple of those people in. Maybe you throw like one of the Flash's rogues in there, like Captain Cold or something.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
If you want to get rid of Boomerang, you know.
Please, God, get rid of Boomerang. Yeah, of course they're getting rid of Boomerang. What am I even talking about? That's obviously the first one they're making. He's gone.
Poison Ivy. Like...
It depends. Like
fucking Manta, depending on the context of where things are in these other movies.
I mean, they could, and also we're not even talking about the fact that they could just do whatever they want and bring in whoever they want and say that they're part of the Suicide Squad.
Well, yeah, exactly.
If they're a bad guy, they can just kind of do it. I mean, they also just created a character last one. So
Vandal Savage, you could put so many. There's so many options. I think but if we're talking about ones that have like a place in Suicide Squad comic history, definitely Bronze Tiger, definitely Count Vertigo to me. But also then if that's your argument, you should probably also keep Boomerang because he's
ugh. Please don't.
I don't know, he was all right.
I can't get behind
My
that.
biggest complaint was that his boomerangs didn't come back.
Yeah.
One boomerang came back out of like.
You know what the great things about boomerangs are?
they do that.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. I really want to see this James Gunn.
Yeah.
I think that this is the perfect next movie for him.
James Gunn doesn't make me more or less excited. He makes me sure.
At the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to release where Guardians of the Galaxy first movie lands for me, though I'm sure I have in the past, because we're going to subscribe to our Patreon and we're doing a future episode on that. But it's very high. I will say that.
I love the first Guardians movie. The second one gets too carried away in being funny. And that's a thing that makes me, that's why I'm not, great, James Gunn. And now I'm like, okay, James Gunn. Like, I know I'll enjoy it, but I'm like, well, let's see.
Well, the problem with the second movie is that he wanted to make a big blockbuster movie. That was his sort of thing. He wanted to make the spectacle movie. That was the intention behind it. Like, that's what he was saying.
That's not my problem with it.
But I think that's what the issue was, is that he got muddled in with trying to make this big spectacle movie and like making it the most funny and the biggest action, and he was just trying to make it the most. I think what made Guardians of the Galaxy good is they took characters who were the least known. They took a director who wasn't very known. They took a storyline that they just sort of made it up. Like, everything was against them. And I think that with Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they were like, this was the most successful Marvel movie. Just go and do whatever you want.
The problem with the second one is they took the wrong lessons of what made the first one good.
Exactly.
They were like, oh, people love that it's funny. Make everything funny in the second one.
No,
it's like, no. It's only good because like I give a shit about these characters.
And I think that with the...
So that's my thing. My feeling with the Suicide Squad is like, listen, you did a great job with Guardians. I'm not unexcited for it. I think I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But do we get a James Gunn who is, like, oh, let's make sure we get this movie right because I want to get another one, like he probably was with the first one? Or do we get I'm James Gunn of Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to make everything's a fucking dick joke.
I think that he definitely won't be doing any of that because of what has happened to him. I think that he's been pulled back.
Well, I don't know. I don't know him. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that I think that he's had a great like sort of check and he's good.
Like I said, it's not making me not excited, but it's just like I'm just in a holding pattern. We'll wait and see.
So I haven't seen this next thing, so I'm going to pull it up because I'd like to watch it, but I'm sure you already have.
Okay.
The Doom Patrol trailer.
Yeah.
Because I have not watched it.
By the time you are listening to this, it comes out in like 2 days.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so close. It's gonna be a good week, man.
I think so.
I'm 100% on board for this, and I haven't even seen this trailer yet. And this is where we get Cyborg, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be good. Let's see here, pulling this up. YouTube, you used to have 4K options. What happened?
I'm excited. Titans got me so on board with like this world. I'm very excited.
That music's really interesting. It makes me think that they're going like, it feels almost like old Hollywood, which is what I loved about that little piece that we got in Titans.
Yeah.
If they go old Hollywood with this, I'll be very excited.
And they're definitely they're playing up all these like classic Doom Patrol things, that they're outsiders, that they don't want to be heroes, that they consider themselves freaks, that society considers them freaks.
Yeah.
We see our first shot of Alan Tudyk as Mr. Nobody,
which
looks pretty cool.
It's a little CGI, but
Mr. Nobody's like 2-dimensional or something like that. Like
it's gonna look it's supposed to look weird. I guess.
So that's kind of so that looks neat. It will get introduced to Crazy Jane, who we did not see.
Yeah, that's right.
In Titans. Same with Cyborg. These are 2 members that were not in that episode of Titans.
It's a good Cyborg. It feels like the movie.
I like the look. 2 people are complaining that it looks cheap or something. It totally fits with like the aesthetic of the show. He looks like he's made from parts that might also be in Robot Man,
which is good.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's that all looks cool. Timothy Dalton as the Chief. You just see a quick glimpse of him. You don't really get much Chief in that trailer.
I'll bring it up again. Chuck. Timothy Dalton was a major part of Chuck.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He played the bad guy, and he played like this Russian bad guy in Chuck. Man. Really, really good. God, we gotta get you watching Chuck.
Timothy Dalton is good at playing like charming but like morally ambiguous / evil.
That's exactly what he was on Chuck, and
Hot Fuzz and like
that's right. Yeah.
He's the perfect choice for the Chief. Yeah. So look, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it.
God, I gotta rewatch Chuck.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, at the point where you're listening to this, if you're listening on the day that it comes out, I think we're only like 2 days away from Doom Patrol.
Man,
yeah,
so close.
Right? Crazy.
Friday. This is a good week. Oh, this is a good week. That means we got to talk about it on the Patreon. So, last piece of news.
Sure.
Oh, got to turn off the audio on the computer because it goes ding, breaks it up. So, we are getting a novel.
Like Dr. DC?
No.
Oh.
The lovers of DC.
Oh, I thought you landed our book deal.
You were working on that.
Oh, shit.
We are getting a novel for... Do you know what we're getting it for? Court of Owls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice.
I've been getting a lot of Court of Owls talk lately in the internet. I think it's been part of the zeitgeist.
I think people want to believe that that's going to be part of that next like Arkham game that's sort of been half announced, or not really announced, but possibly leaked.
Yes.
And yeah, people are like Court of Owls, and like it's a
great story, right?
And it's probably one of like the best villain additions from the New 52 with Scott Snyder developing the Court of Owls.
Snyder.
That's right.
What are your thoughts on this? I mean, like they've done this a couple times, I think.
As a novel?
No, like brought in DC books into novel form.
I think I'm all for it. I mean, there's something, I guess, a little bit inherently strange.
Oh, taking something that's like beautifully artistic and pulling away the art and just going,
yeah, because it's different from adapting it for something that's also a visual medium like
The
TV
only-
or film or animation. Or
I think the only
whatever.
benefit is that you could potentially get more story.
Well, yes, right. Yeah, so I don't have a problem with it at all. Again, as long as it's well written, like there's nothing inherently wrong with that idea.
It's one of those
right?
things
Like-
where it's like nobody's really asking for this, but I mean, sure.
But no, I mean, but there are those novels out there. Some of them are, I think, kind of. Is this one also sort of like a YA kind of thing? Because I think generally when they write them, they sort of are. There's a
I don't
there's
know,
a Mira
actually.
one, there's a Wonder Woman one. Like I think they do sometimes kind of skew them sort of young adult fiction.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the plan with this one or not, but there's. Court of Owls is such like a mystery, secret society, conspiracy thing. Like if you can read something like the Da Vinci Code, you can read Court of Owls. Like it's the same basic premise. There's a secret society in this city that you think you know everything about.
Yeah.
Go from there. Like
It's true.
there's nothing more ridiculous in them than any other of those kind of like
John Cusack plays Batman.
it's like in the novel.
Yeah.
Be like, as you're reading this, imagine John Cusack.
Yeah. Or Tom Hanks, whether one.
Yeah, John Cusack's not in the Da Vinci.
I know. I mix up him with Tom Hanks because they both become this like sort of bloated dude with like slick back hair.
You think really?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks isn't bloated. He's super fit.
He is in Da Vinci Code.
Let's not talk.
But sorry, Angels and Demons is the one where it's really bad. But yes.
What a great movie.
Whoa, why are you really like forcing a smile there? I feel like a tear's coming down your face. I think it's unoffensive. I'm not worried about it, but
Court of Owls is a great story, though. Like, if you're going to adapt something
us into a deeper story,
that's a great one, because it's this idea that like Batman believes that he knows Gotham better than anyone.
Yeah.
And he is thoroughly proven wrong. The Court of Owls has always existed, and he hasn't known. They have bases everywhere, and he hasn't known. Like, you know, like it's that it really like inverts his view even of himself and of Batman, right? It's a great story. It's like a real like undoing of part of Batman's mythos, which is that he is Gotham, right? So cool story to adapt.
I thought that was the last piece of news, but there actually is one more piece of news, which is a Birds of Prey alumni cast member has been cast as a villain in Batwoman.
Yeah, so for the Batwoman pilot,
now is
Rachel Scarston, who played...
We've met her, haven't we?
Yeah.
I got to sit right next to her.
Well, I took her on a tour of the nature preserve
bet you
and stuff
did.
like that. No.
That's what you call you downstairs.
Jesus, the nature preserve? Fucking...
Come on, it's got a lot of wildlife in it.
You are a monster.
This episode, what do you expect?
We did meet her when...
Super nice, yeah.
At the UComic-Con.
Yes, that's right. Just as she got fired from her previous job.
Well, I don't think she got fired. I think it just ended. It was Rain, right?
Yeah, no, it was the sci-fi thing.
No,
wasn't
you're
it?
thinking of...
Oh, no, it was the other one, Melissa
O'Neill.
Yeah.
Rachel Scarston played Dinah Lance on Birds of Prey on the TV show, because there was that TV show. But she's been cast as a villain named Alice, I think,
for the new character, right?
For the pilot of Batwoman.
Yeah.
So, so she's returning to the world of DC, and we're going to see her when we see that first episode of Batwoman.
I think she's called Alice, because she's been described as a Lewis Carroll themed antagonist that is both sophisticated and psychopathic.
I mean, there are...
Which I could totally see her doing that.
Alices that are associated with the Mad Hatter.
Yes.
So...
Potentially.
Maybe, or if this is their take on a character like White Rabbit or something like that.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
Further down the list kind of Batman villain, but either way, we're gonna see.
I'm good.
We're gonna see her again. Yeah.
Let's not go big Batman villains for her right now. I like these sort of smaller.
What I do hope for that.
Let's work towards that season 5, season 6. Let's not.
Do you know what I hope for that one? I think Batwoman actually works really well in the supernatural realm, like
with Sam and Dean.
Yes, specifically that. But like
I'm on
in
board.
Batwoman comics, we get a lot more like, water elementals or demons or magician. Like she goes to those kind of places more than Batman does. I'd be interested to see the show do that. I think that would be a fun a fun take too. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so we have a villain cast for that pilot episode. So things are happening, things are moving. Getting excited to see Batwoman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this week's theme.
Oh, what a mistake.
This week's theme.
No. It's gone. Oh, still gone. It's back.
Yeah. That's right. We're talking porn, parodies, and slash fiction.
And just fan fiction and like clean stuff too. But like, let's be honest, when we start asking questions about fan fiction, a lot of it turns to
Our fans?
well, not specifically
From our fans?
not specifically ours, but just in general, a lot of fan fiction goes to
Sexy time?
Well, I won't necessarily call it sexy, but a place where sex happens.
Yeah, you fucking incel cucks. You love it, don't you?
Jeez. We better not have incel listeners. I don't need that.
Oh man, we got a lot of questions for this.
God.
Shot us your surprise.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into fan fiction and slash fiction and porn parodies.
I like that
because
this
I have watched so much and read so much.
You've done so much in quotations research
recently, in quotations, not stuff
like
that
prior to coming upstairs.
Yeah, not stuff that I've known for a long time.
No, of course not. No. That's never.
I had to go to Google and say, where is the porn?
Yeah.
And then it was like, do you mean Pornhub? And I was like, I don't know. That maybe sounds like the place I
to call it Olive Garden.
I was going to say my browser default.
Yeah. I like to call Pornhub the Olive Garden.
When you're here, your family?
Yeah.
Is it because there's all that stepsister shit?
That's exactly.
Why is that so popular?
Oh, I have no. I like that people I still like the idea that it's always step. Like, I don't know who is uncomfortable with it enough that they're like, look, they're not siblings, they're step siblings, so it's fine. Or is that like a thing that people specifically want to have sex with their step siblings?
I feel like that is. I feel like the fetish must be like siblings, and the only way that they can make it at all palatable is putting the word step in there.
Yeah,
it's weird, like how like every video seems to have the word step in it. It's weird.
It's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
I hate that I keep clicking this. I really.
You're doing it right now.
I'm so uncomfortable with
step
this.
Co-host.
Look, I don't want us to be related. But I want us to kind of seem like it.
Yeah, we each host a different podcast, but we just record in the same studio. Using the same equipment.
It's on the Cuck Network, right? So it's kind of has to be.
Oh, fuck. All right, let's get into it.
Well, our first place we're going on is to Facebook.
Going to the face and the book. Going to the Facebook.
I like that we got called out for the Heath Corthan episode for like bailing on the...
Did we?
Yeah, well, I got a message from, I think it was from Adam. It was just like, you fucking pussies, like bailed on some of the like the jokes. Yeah, well, that's...
I did. I got embarrassed.
Yeah, it's okay.
I never used to get embarrassed, but it's because I never used to do the drops.
Yeah, you also didn't do it in front of somebody you actually respect.
Yeah.
With the... I know where I stand in your respect spectrum.
Oh, pretty low.
Your respectrum. So first question comes from Andrew Delgado, the most interesting resident in the world.
Take that, other residents.
Yeah, fuck you. Fucking get better.
Jesus.
Fucking incel cucks.
No.
Andrew asks, if you were creating your own take on DC, how would you portray how relationships and intimacy work in various outside cultures, like Tamaran, the 31st century, Earth 11, Earth 29, etc.?
Interesting. Well, Earth 29 is a weird one to throw in there. That's the Bizarro world.
Oh.
I shudder to think of what intimacy looks like on Bizarro world.
Me put this here?
No.
Me safe word popcorn.
Me am not going to come.
Wait, is that double negative? What is he going to do?
Well, there's a lot of issues on Bizarro World, I would say.
It's in my face.
But some of the other ones in there are interesting. So Earth 11 is the gender swapped universe where the Amazons have actually influenced like the outcome of society.
Yeah.
So it's all gender reversed, right? This is a society sort of led and inspired by women.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable to assume that the idea of intimacy is different there. And I think Earth 11 ideally is like our sort of like perfect end game of people understanding consent and like enthusiastic consent and people being comfortable and empowered and owning their own sexuality, whatever that means. You know what I mean? Like if I have to imagine a version of sexuality on Earth 11, it's like it's the end game of what we're working towards as a horrible society on our
right
Earth.
now, currently. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think I'd like to imagine it as that, where, you know, everyone is just seeking the thing that makes them feel good and happy and does not harm other people or doesn't exploit and all of those things. That's what I would expect from that world. Tamaran, that's where Starfire comes from, and we have talked about Starfire. So that culture is very sort of open and sort of empowered and things like that. But they are also warriors. So I would actually expect like Tamaranians' sexuality to maybe somewhat resemble Amazonian.
Yeah.
So probably like some fluid sexuality in terms of like the male female or just gender in general. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There is an element of like the sort of like the bondage thing and stuff like that that's woven into Wonder Woman, obviously from William Moulton Marston himself. And that's kind of in now like Amazonian culture a little bit. Not like it's ever... We never see a shot of Themyscira where people are whipping each other or anything like that. But like, you know, like I think because of that subtext and that all of what was in there in the Golden Age, it's sort of in there.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a shock to learn that Tamaran had a similar sensibility. Again, sort of warrior culture with a relatively open sexuality. I think, again, it's that idea of like, we're all in this for the enjoyment of it, not to hurt each other. Like, not to cause harm to each other. I think I would see them as very similar. What were some of what were any of the other ones that were mentioned?
Tamaran 31st Century.
Oh, like Legion of Superheroes. See, now that's a funny one because the 31st Century... Well, Legion of Superheroes was created in like the 50s and 60s, right?
So it was that 50s and 60s version of the future, which I love.
It's also a different era of writing because we had the Comics Code Authority and all this kind of stuff. And then the Legion itself has these weird, almost sort of Jedi rules, like you can't date a Legion, you know, you can't marry a Legionnaire, you can't, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, Legionnaires go on to marry each other or have relationships. Like, they do it anyway, but it does kind of feel like a society where they try to impose these kind of rules in that. And that's obviously not... You can't govern people's feelings that way. So actually, I'd say that the 31st century maybe is not as progressive as you would like it to be. Like it does kind of feel like a society that might, that just has a problem with something. I don't know that you can actually isolate what it is. I don't know if it's a problem with sexuality or if it's the idea that they still, even in the 31st century, are a little bit kind of like, I don't know, like interspecies sort of thing. Because the Legion is basically like representatives of different like united planets. Yeah. Each of whom have inborn powers from their home world. Yes. Right? And that's Legion membership. That's sort of how that's made up. So Lightning Lad comes from a planet where people have lightning powers. Yeah. And the whole Legion is kind of made up of things that way. So you could maybe make the argument that these like don't date, don't marry kind of rules in there are like, maybe like, we get along, but like maybe there's some sort of like lingering xenophobia sort of thing.
It's definitely true.
Even like that the planets are united because politically it makes sense, but maybe there's still kind of a issue in there. You know, we know Chameleon Boy's in the Legion, but we know that like people on Earth still don't trust Durlans because
you're a Durlan
because they can shapeshift and stuff like that, right? Like that's in there. It's been 1,000 years, and we're still like, I don't know if I can trust a shapeshifter. Like we just haven't gotten over it. Yeah. So I think that I would say the 31st century sexuality is possibly backwards from even where we are today. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Adam Upper, who asks, who would be the weirdest matchup for a fanfic story minus incest fanfic? Because why make it an extra layer of weird?
Well, yeah, let's leave that alone entirely.
Yeah.
But
hey, I do have a line.
so we're talking about like romance or just like
Fanfic, I think
or
general,
just- or
but I
just
think it could.
sex, like-
why?
because those I think are also different.
he just says fanfic, so I think it could really be whatever you want.
So it could also
to
just be a team up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, what I will say in the fanfic that I've read, there's obviously like there are natural team ups that already exist in comics, and
Yeah.
people just like exploring those more.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of Harley and Ivy like road trip stories and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
when you comb through, but those are characters that already have a relationship in comics. So if we're trying to come up with a new pairing, oh god, I'd be. Well, I guess this isn't new because I'm taking it from the cartoon. But I'd be interested in some like Jon Stewart and Vixen, but like superhero team ups. In the cartoon, we know that they're together for a bit after Jon Stewart and Shaira break up. But seeing them superhero together, Green Lantern and Vixen, I think that would be interesting. But also because, you know, in the personal life side of it too, Mari McCabe is a famous like model and is famous in fashion and things like that. And Jon Stewart is not famous outside of being a Green Lantern. You know, he was a Marine and stuff like that. He has maybe a more grounded civilian life than Mari does. I think it'd be interesting to watch those things play off each other. Like what does a week, if you were doing a fanfic of like a week in the life, what does it look like to like go to like Milan for like a fashion show and then also like work as an architect over here for John, and then also to superhero together when they have very different power sets, very different sort of feelings about like how to mete out justice. John answers to the Green Lantern Corps. Vixen may or may not answer to the Red, but sort of is more independent. Like, I think there's lots to play off there and seeing how, you know, where's the common ground and where do they disagree? And I'd be kind of interested in that.
I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
So this is a weird one.
No incest.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No.
I just feel like I really need to hammer that home with you.
There's a line. That's the one.
And the line is the word step.
Yeah, that's
Step Commissioner Corps.
Puppies are going nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Prepare yourself for this.
Okay.
Dick Grayson,
Sure. What a treat.
Nick Zuko.
Okay.
So
like the son of Tony Zuko,
Yeah.
like we saw on Titans.
yes,
Right.
I really like that, but I think we could do more with it.
Okay.
So here's my
Like actually teaming up?
yeah. So here's my pitch.
All right.
There's some infighting within the Zuko mafia family.
Sure.
And there's somebody who's trying to vie to become the new leader of the team.
Right.
Also happening right now is within the circus families.
Right.
There is a bunch of like random murders that are happening.
Sure.
So it keeps pointing back to being the Zuko family.
Right.
And all the clues have been left, but so Dick goes after Nick.
Right.
So Dick and Nick, obviously that's the through line here.
Nice.
He goes after Nick and is like, this is obviously you, like, and he's like, it's not me.
Yeah.
I hate you, but there's obviously like, I think it's this guy and he's trying to take my place. Let's work together to take this guy down.
So that guy must represent something worse.
Yes.
If Dick is like, it's better that you're the head of this crime family then.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And they want to solve this mystery.
So basically, you're reimagining that episode of Titans. So instead of it actually leading to Nick Zuko, that's a red herring, and then they actually team up.
So they have to work together. They got to spend a lot of long nights in motel rooms.
Sorry, this is going to be sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think it was going there.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
It's got to.
Sure. It is Dick Grayson.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't deny yourself. I feel like he's a little gender, like he's a little like fluid when it comes to that. Anyways,
I think you would be.
yeah, and so I think that they've got all this tension and anger towards each other that they don't know how to release.
Oh no.
There's so much family death there. But they also need to work together.
Right.
I think tensions are high. It gets a little steamy.
Right.
Maybe they need to after a big fight they go into the hot tub at the motel
Okay.
and a hand slips.
Right.
And
Oops.
a look is given. We go from there.
Yeah. I've got a pitch for you, and I may or may not be 100% stealing the plot of Terminator.
Okay.
Booster Gold.
Oh, how did I not pitch this?
Booster Gold shows up to
Have sex with himself?
no. Booster Gold shows up to protect the future by basically bodyguarding. Let's call her Martha Cord.
All right. Okay. Oh
And he
my
said-
God.
Says your son sent me.
Is he
And he fucks Martha Cord.
and creates
Booster.
Ted?
Booster is Ted Cord's father. Yeah. Booster is Kyle Reese in this.
Oh my God.
Ted Cord is John Connor.
Okay. I need this in my life. If we have any
He
writers.
says, come with me if you want to blah ha ha. Oh yeah, and the person sent back through time to kill him is, I don't know, Captain Adam. Let's pick someone else from that Giffen era. Maxwell Lord comes back in time to kill him, and
Wow.
there you go.
I really okay.
Just appropriating the Terminator plot for some fan fiction where Booster fucks Ted's mom.
You've got a couple stories here. I want to know which ones you guys prefer.
Okay.
You residents. So
Yeah.
either hashtag Dick and Nick or hashtag Booster Salvation.
Of all the Terminator ones, that's what. Jesus.
All right, let's head on over to Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, you were it was like good, but you stumbled at the end there. Get your shit together.
I'm so sorry. I'm just thinking about Booster.
I have a way that you can give my forgiveness.
Oh, what am I talking about? Skeets is the robot sent back in time to kill.
Oh, you idiot. Skeet. Writes itself.
Oh, my Booster Gold.
So first question comes from Talking Superman, who asks, if Green Lantern and Wonder Woman had gotten together in the 80s, what do you think the results of that would have been?
Right. I think there was a moment where that almost happened.
Really?
I can't for the life of me find the issue.
So if you know what that issue is.
Yeah, I think there was a moment where this almost happened. But let's keep in mind the era. So this is if it's the 80s, even if it's post-crisis,
Yep.
this is Emerald Twilight. So Hal is not evil. He hasn't become Parallax yet. So, yeah, a Green Lantern Wonder Woman thing.
Mhm.
Interesting. I mean, there is in the comics, I mean, much, much later, Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, and Donna Troy do have a romance. That does happen. So that's a version of Green Lantern and Wonder Woman getting together. I actually don't think Hal and Diana could. Because I think Hal, I mean, he's always hung up on Carol. But also Hal is not he's not a good guy, Greg, you know? Like, if they did start being together and then he was hung up on Carol, he'd probably cheat on Diana with Carol. Because Hal is more like that. He wouldn't be like, oh, I've got feelings, let's break up, and then I'll pursue Carol again. He would be shitty about it.
Yeah.
So I think that would always kind of end poorly, but also Hal is so I don't know. I think he's too. I hesitate to use this word. I think he's too cocksure, but also not necessarily self-aware. There's something there's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself or things like that. You know, like Diana has found Bruce attractive and has found Superman attractive. Both of them have a confidence of a certain variety, but Superman is constantly trying to humble himself, and Batman ultimately is just a man. There's all, you can only do so much. But Hal has like,
what are your superpowers? I'm rich.
But exactly. But Hal has the most powerful weapon in the universe. He can make his imagination into anything. Like, I think that unbounds his confidence in a way that, and because he's a test pilot and he just is how he is, I think there's something unattractive to someone like Diana about the idea of someone that just thinks they're fucking great. You know what I mean? It's the opposite of a Steve Trevor. It's the opposite of like all of these people that actually have had meaningful relationships with Diana in the past. So if it did happen, it would almost certainly end poorly, and Diana would break it off, and she would be right to, and it would either be one of these things where they couldn't work together because she can't trust him, or they couldn't work together because he'd get that kind of defensive man angry that anyone would like break up with him, and then he'd just be a shitty teammate.
Yeah.
And, not forever, but, in the short term, I would see that story going to like, then we need you two to work on this mission, like that sort of thing. And like, it doesn't pan out, and like, they don't trust each other. So something goes wrong, and maybe civilians die or whatever. And then Diana would definitely find that unconscionable.
Yeah.
That would be a rift.
Yeah.
Like I see it going that way.
I like that.
I feel maybe the opposite if we're talking the Golden Age versions, and if it was like Hippolyta as a Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
And like Alan Scott Green Lantern. Like if it was the Justice Society version, that might work out.
More so, I think.
Because I think they both sort of have that kind of the gravitas and the they understand the weight of responsibility and things like that. Like they are more compatible to me than like Hal and Diana are.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next question comes from Stump Junkman.
Step into the stump! Stump Junkman!
Who asks, how many fan fictions did Colin write of you with a surprise visit from Josh Gill before disappearing mysteriously, not into the Speed Force?
Well,
First of all,
he didn't disappear into the Speed Force because we all heard him get onto that Zeppelin.
Yeah, and that means
that terrible accident.
Oh, the humanity. But for Colin to write something, he would need to follow through with something, and I just don't see that happening. So
I don't know. He barely. I was actually going to say he had trouble reading when we would give him the questions.
But then he'd say
it implies to me that the writing would be a challenge.
But then he said that he's read all these like highfalutin novels. In his past.
Did. Yeah, he did bring up Fahrenheit 451.
But
he didn't write Fahrenheit 451.
God no.
Yeah, I mean. Well,
it would be like these two guys shut up or whatever.
Oh, sorry. Is it about writing fan fictions of us?
Specifically, Colin, it would be myself and Josh Gill, I would assume. But
oh, I see. I don't know that Colin would write that. I think if he was going to write fan fiction, it would probably be Ragman,
or it would be about himself
and Ragman.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So there's your answer.
Yeah.
Next question. Comes from.
It's too bad all of his fan fiction journals burned up in that explosion.
It's weird that he needed to bring all those with him.
Yeah,
because
it was like a trunk.
He said something about like nothing safer than a Zeppelin and got on.
Famous last words.
Yeah, well, of course. Next question comes from. It's a new resident, EC.
Hi, EC.
Yeah, who asks, what are your thoughts on fan-made characters that are sons, daughters, and descendants of DC heroes / villains? Which, I mean, we don't just get fan-made. We've actually had, there's a team of descendants, I think, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, an eventual cop-out answer of this is like sort of taken from our conversation with Heath last week, which is that a lot of people who actually do write the comic books, who write the canon stories, are fans. So the only real difference, I mean, part of it is, quality of writing sometimes, but the only real substantive difference between fan fiction and canon is whether or not you work for DC. Like, like we get lots of, there was a story in a Justice League run like last year called Legacy, where potential versions of Children of the League from a possible future show up. And it included like the children of Barry Allen and Jessica Cruz, who like like that's never going to happen. Barry's going to end up with Iris, like, because Bart is his grandson and things like that, right? Those are established canonical things.
Yeah.
But in this possible future, they were like, he has kids with Jessica Cruz. And like one had speed and two of them had like the power of the emotional spectrum in them.
Yeah.
So like, I know that's technically a canon story. It's technically not fan fiction, but in a way, I mean, that's it's the same mental exercise. It's the same like practice of imagination and what if that you would employ in fan fiction.
Yeah.
And I like that idea. You know, like we said, there's a lot of fan fiction that's about like who would fuck.
Yeah.
It's nicer to see the fan fiction that really like tries to say like who could have a relationship.
Could fuck.
Yeah. Who could have a relationship? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Like, what are they like as parents? Do they break up? Who are the kids? What's their personality like? How do you blend these different things together? Like, I think that's an interesting exercise because when you're crafting a new character that is a child, you're sort of trying to incorporate elements of two or possibly more characters, right? And I think that's a fun fictional exercise, like as a writer. So those kind of things, I'm always into. Like anything else, though, I mean, like if you go and just look up fan fiction, there's a whole spectrum of quality from like very shitty to extremely good. Like you should be writing for DC.
Yeah.
So you know, you get what you get with that, but just in terms of the idea of it, or like as a concept or a practice, yeah, of course, it's a really cool way to contribute something to that universe and to try to examine how characters work with each other, or what do you think the inherited traits, personality or powers wise, would be. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. With that, the Dr. DC podcast will be back after this quick break. Hey there, residents. This episode of the Dr. DC podcast is brought to you thanks to our amazing sponsors, Great Lakes Grooming Co. They sent us some awesome products to try, so let's check them out. We have the pine tar soap. This is amazing. We use it all the time at my house. It's a really like wonderful sort of peppermint smell to it. It's a traditional recipe that they've developed themselves, and it's awesome. It's a great way to get clean and smell good every day. As well, I love the peppermint lip balm, especially this time of the year, living where we do, constantly getting sort of dry lips, and it's a huge pain. So definitely want to use that. Great Lakes Grooming is meant to be easy to use, rain or shine. All their products are purposely designed and environmentally responsible, handmade here in Canada, really ready for adventure wherever one may find themselves. For you lucky listeners, we also have an opportunity where you can get 10% off on Great Lakes Grooming regular priced products by going to www.greatlakesgrooming.com and using the promo code DRDCPodcast. That's right, www.greatlakesgrooming.com. Promo code is DRDCPodcast. Back to the show. And we're back.
Hey.
And we're back.
We're back. It's 9 a.m.
Oh my God, it is. It's actually 10 now.
Oh, okay. And we've watched 4 hours of porn together.
Never have we been closer. Never have we been stickier.
That's part of why we're so close.
Yes. Just hours of watching porn together. Let's just say we've covered a lot.
When two become one.
We've covered a lot of things.
Yeah.
In our own juices.
Dash will turn off the podcast. For God's sake, turn it off.
One day I hope he listens to this.
Be like, Dad, why did you listen to this?
Yeah.
This is a terrible show.
You're a bad father. Let's get on over to Reddit, where everything's nice.
And no one's ever mean?
That's right.
All right.
First question comes from Ravana.
Okay.
Who asks, Were there any fan stories / comics that traumatized you or left you with a bad taste? If yes, what were they? Asking for a friend's darty eyes.
The ones, actually, I can think of one. This is one that I admittedly did not research recently. This is one I just remember. And of course it's traumatic because it's like a sort of, it's basically like hentai, and it goes to like a really awful kind of abusive place. I don't know why they all seem to do this. You know what I mean? No one seems to be capable of like drawing just like a nice romantic sort of encounter. There was one that I think it was like a Batman Beyond one, involved like ink and live wire or something like that. But yeah, it was, I don't know. It was just, it was weird. It felt like they were, they were essentially in like a form of like, I think it was like a sex zoo kind of thing where it was super messed up. I don't know what, well, I do know why, but it's disappointing that so much of the sort of sexy version of fan fiction has to be this kind of like demeaning, like degrading, verging on kind of forced territory. It's really it's really unsettling. And like, it's unsettling because that stuff is unsettling, but also like, why take these characters that are meant to be sort of strong and self-sufficient and things like that and break them down? Like, why is that a necessary thing? Like, part of what makes some of these characters sexy is how self-assured and in control they are. Why are you taking that away and removing anything of their actual character from it?
Yeah.
It's really like that stuff I find unsettling, and I mean, traumatic is probably overstating it.
Yeah.
But it's disturbing, and I don't like it. I don't like that people keep doing it. I don't like that it's out there.
Yeah.
I think that's my answer to that one.
I think the one that traumatized me the most wasn't a DC thing necessarily, but it was the first time I read the Supernatural, like where they made the brothers fuck.
Oh no, don't do that.
That happens a lot. And they reference it.
They're not even stepbrothers.
I know. They reference it in the TV show a lot.
The fan fiction?
Yeah.
What, like in the TV show?
Yeah.
They're like, people write fan fiction with them?
Yeah. And they're just like, I don't know why they always keep wanting us to like get together. Like, we're brothers. It's so fucked up.
Well, but this is this also shows that I'm in my 30s and my tastes have matured and things like that. But like, you know, like that old trope of being like, yeah, like, oh, I met a set of twins at the bar and like took these twin girls.
Yeah,
and like they're sisters.
Yeah, it's
why
true.
are you making them do that?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's true. It's true. I mean, like, yeah,
it's weird. It's weird both ways. And for a long time, I think, you know, you're sort of conditioned to be like, it's only weird one way. It's like,
no.
It's just weird.
It's just weird. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a proponent for that. I will never kink shame except for that one thing. Incest.
That's not really a kink, though.
No. Well, I mean, technically, I guess it is, but
I mean, that's not. Yeah, that's not good.
Well, with that, let's go to the next question.
Sure.
Which comes from the Reddit name Alfred Did It.
Jesus Christ!
That's
incredible commitment.
Yeah, I'm stumped. It better not be you, because this is great. Who asks? It's two questions. The first one I love is, are there any fan pairings that you would like to see make it into the comics?
Oh, interesting. Fan pairings.
So there's one that I have.
Sure.
That's not. It's one that I read once, and I've been trying to find the book, and I can't find the story.
Sure.
But it's Stanley Wilson and Alfred Pennyworth.
Stanley Wilson,
which was Green Arrow's butler.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. That's such a crazy deep cut reference.
Yeah.
So it's like the Butlers team
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
Oh my God, a League of Butlers?
Oh my God.
The Butler League?
Didn't we do this already? Yeah, we did.
I think we had it was the
Legion of Alfreds.
Legion of Alfreds or something like that, yeah. Oh, no, it was Dave Rossi pitched the Butler verse.
That's right, that was, yeah.
It was that, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, see, Gerard Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Alfred.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. Oh.
Why should we cast you as Alfred? Well, it's in the name.
Yeah.
It's me, Gerard Butler. This is Gotham. Kicks Bruce into a well.
That's amazing. That's really funny. You will become Batman. Jesus. By hook or by crook, you will be Batman.
Your Scottish accent is like vaguely Middle Eastern.
I can't help it, you know.
Or Eastern European?
Yeah, that's both those things are in my blood. I can't help it.
Okay, so it's Green Arrow and Batman's Butler.
Yes.
But what do you want to see? Is it them just like swapping Butler tips, or is it them like on the road together?
Okay,
or
two different stories. I want one. I want My Dinner with Andre, just butlers talking about like their butler life.
You want like an upstairs downstairs thing. So
yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I definitely want that. I would love like a TV show that's literally just the butler's side of like all of these things happening, and you never get to see Batman.
Yeah, you want Downton Abbey, but set in the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, it would be amazing. I think it would make a great comedy.
I kind of like it.
I 100%.
Like it, yeah.
And then the other one I would like is that both like there's no other superheroes that can help because of whatever blah blah blah. Green Arrow and Batman have been taken.
Okay.
And now the only people that can help are the butlers.
Right.
Who have like always been on the sidelines. They know how to use all the equipment, but they've never been the ones to actually.
Interesting. I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Oh, geez. That's That's funny. I'm trying to think of a pairing that I've seen in fan fiction that isn't already a pairing.
A thing that people have done, right?
Because a lot of the fan fiction thing is like, oh, I've seen these two kind of have a bit of a thing. I want to expand on that. I want to see where it goes. But one that's just like totally made up, eh? I mean...
Is there any villain things? I feel like a villain thing is like less likely to have actually already happened.
Right. I'm going to give one answer that is actual DC canon, but feels like fan fiction, which is that Black Adam and Sinestro are good friends.
Really?
Yeah. They sort of start working together during Forever Evil, and then they become friends because Sinestro and Black Adam basically have the same sort of self-image. They're the righteous protector that is a god and therefore should be dictator, but they're doing it for the good of their people, either on Korrigar or in Kandak or whatever. Yeah. And they actually do team up in Sinestro's solo series. Black Adam like goes to space and helps Sinestro out. Like they're kind of buds, and it feels like fan fiction, but it's actually kind of dope.
That's awesome.
I think I know they know each other. I know there are meetups and fights and some team ups in the comics, but it might be interesting to get like. In a DC book, get like I don't know what you would call it, but Sons of the Bat, but all of the Robins forced to work together consistently. Mm-hmm. Not just like Batman's like, one last job, we take down blah, 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 but like an actual, for whatever reason, they're forced together. Dick and Jason and Tim and Damian and, Stephanie or whatever. Like, throw them all in there. They can't get away from each other. I guess Batman and Robin Eternal was a little bit like that, but I don't know. Especially Dick and Jason. I feel like those two are more than any other sort of combination of them. I'd be interested in like an ongoing Nightwing Red Hood.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of series. Jason's obviously he's worked through a lot of issues, but he undoubtedly has issues with Dick, being the replacement Robin and the one that died and not the favorite son and not, like all that kind of stuff. And Dick obviously, I think would want to bury that hatchet and things like that. I think I'd be interested in like a Nightwing Red Hood kind of ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next part of his question, which is, I just love, this is just a fun little thing, but also, does your Alfred love anyone as much as he loves killing parents?
Allegedly.
I don't actually think that I love killing parents. I just think that sometimes parents need to get a little pop.
I love it when they are killed.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes it's necessary for a loved one to go away. That is a good way to put it.
Let me ask you a question. If you had both your parents, would you train non-stop to fill this suit that I've got?
Here's a question for you. Are your parents alive?
Do you want them to be?
No, are your parents? I'm asking you.
Oh yes.
Doctor.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know why I'm talking to myself, but
I'm so sorry.
I'm asking the doctor specifically.
Looking in the mirror, asking myself if my own parents, the Pennyworths, are alive.
No,
my mother is alive.
No, I'm asking the doctor. The doctor, are your parents?
You asking for me?
No one. Literally.
All right, sorry.
Literally, no one's ever asking for you. The doctor.
Oh yes. Hi. Sorry.
Are your parents alive?
Yes.
Are you currently a crime-fighting superhero?
No.
I submit to you. The evidence is quite clear.
What a brilliant thesis defense. No, I mean, the answer is obvious. The only thing that brings Alfred joy is killing parents and crafting superheroes.
Yeah. I think that I know people whose parents have dead, and I don't have any proof to say that they are also not superheroes. So I surmise they must be.
I've fixed up your plane, Mr. Jordan. Why don't you...
We're currently referencing a very recent Green Lantern commentary track we made. So if you're interested,
Mr. Thon, here's the address.
On our Patreon.
Here's the address of Henry and Nora Allen. Why don't you just go pop in, give them a little visit, but do it about, I'd say, 20 years ago.
If you could make that possible, it'd be
yeah.
I think quite good for everyone.
I figure make sure that young Barry at least hears something going on, so he comes downstairs, sees a bit of a yellow blur, and then you're out of there.
Yeah, that's right. You could, if you want, you can grab him, do what you must, but make sure that he's alive at the end of it.
Right.
That's all. Traumatize him in any way that you could possibly see fit. Just make sure that he lives at the end of it.
Right.
That's all. So I think that answers that question. Next question comes from Crepom, CREPOUM.
Okay.
343.
Okay.
There's a name. Which the question is, favorite fan fiction story ever?
Ooh.
Actually, the question was fave fanfic ever, but yeah.
Interesting. There was one that I read as we were like prepping for this, and it was like, I don't know, it was, I mean, for fan fiction, I felt it was relatively nuanced.
Yeah.
It was like Batman sort of dealing with the fallout and also just like the status of a few different relationships that he's got, like, not all romantic, but like a relationship with like how he works with Gordon, a bit of a relationship with Barbara, sort of like pulled from that animated universe where that is a thing. And also like him and Diana, right? Like it was all based in that sort of animated like Tim verse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about Batman sort of navigating these different relationships that he has had and like where he's ended up and, you know, what went well, what didn't and things like that. That was kind of a neat one. I sort of dug that one actually. I read another one that I didn't like nearly as much, but it was just a weird pairing where it was like Animal Man takes his family to the zoo one day on the same day that Harley and Ivy on a road trip also go to the San Diego Zoo.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I need to say something about that particular fan fiction. Not the best written, if I'm being honest. But this made me guffaw. Early on in the fan fiction, Harley and Ivy are driving on a road trip, and he says that the radio's blasting, and then we get a quote of Harley singing along with the song. And I'll give you 3 guesses what song she's singing along with the radio. You're never going to get this.
More Than a Feeling.
No.
Staying Alive.
No.
Feels Like a Woman.
No. The song was Steal My Sunshine by Len.
What? That was my next guess.
Literally, the quote is like, I know it's done for me if you steal my sunshine. And then Ivy asks her to turn off the radio.
That's amazing. Unbelievable.
Well, unbelievable that you'd be asked to turn off the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, it made me laugh. I was like, this person must be Canadian.
Yeah.
There's no
Wow.
way.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I always forget that that's not a worldwide thing and more of a Canadian thing.
No, it's definitely a Canadian thing.
I know it's done for me.
That's pretty good. Do you know who I could do like a weirdly good impression of?
Who?
Is the guy from Aqua. Oh, baby, I'm missing you.
I want you by my side.
And I hope you miss me too. Hello, Bobby. Let's go party.
Yeah.
Hello, Barbie. Let's go party. Ooh. Do you know what? I think my fan fiction is the guy from Len and the guy from
the
Aqua on a road trip.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just think the idea of them having sex is just, oh yeah, oh.
And the guy from that did War.
Yeah. What is?
Yeah.
That's really funny. I think my current favorite story, including all the ones that I read on Literotica as a child, was there's a story on there's actually a lot of good fanfic on Archive of Our Own.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good stuff on there, but there's a specific one called The Many Deaths of Jason Todd.
Oh.
Which is really, really good. It's basically like Jason Todd gets yet again murdered.
Right.
But they take that concept, and Tim Drake basically goes out to try to get his body back. And they find out that he's still alive. And so the whole thing's about sort of the immortality of Jason.
Right.
And they try to like unravel that mystery. And
Interesting.
it's really good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Yeah. So you can find
Nice,
it. I think the writer is Zoleo. It's like Zoeleo.
Oh, nice.
Really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That does sound good.
Yeah, it's super good. So, let's head on over to the email.
Check the email. It just sounds now.
The emails that we got this week. They just
You people and your fake
you
emails.
fucking monsters. You learned this one thing and now I have no idea who any of these people. They could all be the same people.
It could be.
You sons of bitches. I think it's just going to get to a point where I think all questions are from Adam, and he's just got multiple different accounts. It would make sense. We have two residents, and they both
Our lifetime listens for this podcast just broke 30.
Yeah,
We have 104 episodes.
guys, we've got so many other episodes. Listen to them. First question comes from Fucker.
Oh, very sensitive name. Thank you.
Just the intellect it must have taken to develop such an.
What should my name be?
Well, it's
Fucker.
Yeah. Oh God. I feel that. I mean, though, you go back and check out my like Majora's Mask names on Nintendo 64. It's not far from that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's really more of just like my little brother's an asshole. That's most of it. But I swear to God, if you delete this account, I'm gonna kill you. Which the email is sexy
Okay.
at sex.com. We're just the upper echelon of writing.
This
here.
is maybe the most creative.
Yeah, I think.
Fucker, sexy at sex.com. What's the question about?
Well, the subject is just called porn. The question is what porn star gave the most true character performance as a DC character?
I mean, this is actually kind of an amazing question. I know we just ripped on this person a lot, but like this is kind of an amazing question.
Yeah.
So, I did what I think might be the saddest thing you could do, which is I watched 3 or 4 different DC Comics pornos, but I skipped all or most of the sex scenes. I was just trying to watch like the plot scenes to see who was playing their characters, which is maybe the saddest thing you can do.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things here. One thing that I think, again, I'm in my 30s. I think I want something different out of porn now. The thing that disappoints me the most is even in cases where people are kind of playing the character or kind of like parodying a particular version, like if it's meant to be like a Nolan verse or whatever, is that as soon as they start fucking, all that character stuff goes out the window and it's all just like, like there's no...
Except for the Nolan verse version where like as they start having sex, the guy starts yelling at the cameraman. You don't ever walk in my fucking scene ever again, you fucking piece of shit. I'm Batman.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But like, so for example, I watched the Birds of Prey one. And first of all, the acting is horrific.
Yeah.
I can tell you what the worst one is whoever is playing Talia al Ghul in that one is like I don't think has even seen a porno because like even for a porno is not acting.
Wow.
But it's that thing where like even if you're kind of playing a character, you're kind of pretending like, oh, I'm Oracle, I'm the computer one. As soon as they start the sex scene, there's no element of character in there anymore. Like they're just them as the porn star. Like if you watched any other video with that porn star in it, it would look the same.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's porn. People aren't watching for the story, but I wish, like if the idea is that people are maybe turned on by the idea of these characters that they like, if that's the reason you're doing the porn parody, then at least if you're going to half-ass the character, half-ass it for the whole movie. Don't just half-ass it in the plot parts.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so that's half of it. The other half is that because it's porn and because there are societal expectations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the people really afforded the opportunity to act are the male porn stars.
It's true.
As opposed to the female ones. The female ones are there to be generic female porn star that's going to get fucked.
Yeah.
But I will say...
made love to. Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Stick it in my ass! Yeah. There is a porn parody of the 60s Batman.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And I've got to say, it's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
So
I find that the like comical ones are always the best.
The guy playing Robin, whoever that is, does a lot of like, golly, and like does like the fist punch thing. Like,
yeah.
It's like, holy moly, Batman, those are big tits. Or like, like it's actually kind of funny. I do find that one very funny. But again, these are missed opportunities in porn, I think. Because then when the fucking starts, again, it's just a generic fuck scene. But like, if you're doing a 60s Batman thing, then shouldn't you have some sort of like cartoony bubble font, like spooge, like at the like instead of pow and bam, shouldn't it be like come?
Yeah,
like why isn't that in the movie? Who is making these things?
That's true.
Like, I get, you know what I mean? Like, because porn does have a weird subgenre of just funny.
Like, I find that the Scooby-Doo parody is really good.
Well, exactly. Like there's something weird in porn where they're like, we should make this funny.
Yeah.
But they don't carry it into the sex scenes. And I get it. Like people are supposed to be jerking off to this, but like, is it really going to like, if you're already watching a 60s Batman porn parody, is it going to ruin your day to see like a, like suck instead of, or whatever, like just pop up on the screen? I wish there was more of that. Again, it's like the sex scenes, other than the fact that they start in the costumes, feel divorced from the rest of the porn parody. So even if someone is kind of playing like, oh, old chum or whatever, then as soon as the sex starts, they're regular porn stars again, just in a costume. That is weirdly disappointing to me.
When I had a roommate once, and they had this porn that had a bloopers section on the DVD.
Was it Pirates?
No, it wasn't. It was a different one. No, I know.
Pirates is that weirdly big budget porn.
Yeah. No. This was like a random one, but had a bloopers, and it was hilarious.
I bet it was.
It was just like, well, that comes in my hair now. Oh no, like it was really good.
But yeah, I think the best performances, quote unquote, of a DC character have to be, I think, in that 60s Batman porn parody, and it's the people playing Batman and Robin.
I have a counter.
I think Tory Black plays Catwoman and kind of does a little bit of the like the Catwoman. But then again, as soon as the sex starts,
that goes away.
That's out the window. She's just Tory Black again.
I don't
know her name.
I will.
Her Wonder Woman is terrible, I gotta say.
I will counter.
Sorry.
You have a lot of opinions. It's okay. I also think
so much.
If you want to, I think a lot of the Harley Quinn like newer ones are actually pretty decent. Like Riley Reed's is pretty great. I
haven't seen it.
No, I mean, hey, nothing wrong with watching porn. But I think my all-time favorite one is the Justice League of Porn Heroes.
Okay. Like, sorry, that's your favorite, like, of the porn parodies?
Yeah.
Or your favorite performances in that
I think the performances are some of the most accurate.
Sure.
I think that Wonder Woman's actually pretty decent.
Of the Wonder Women, because this is the big thing too. Porn is so much on the degradation thing, like throw me down, blah, blah, blah. And it never feels right with Wonder Woman. Like she should be doing the throwing.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But I think that it's one of the only Aquaman ones we get to see.
That's true.
Yeah, it is like the short blonde hair version. Yeah. But
although it's only a matter of time before we get like a monster Momoa version.
It's true. Oh, if it hasn't already happened.
Just some like greasy haired Roman Reigns knockoff.
It's gonna be some Italian dude though, like for sure.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you want my meatballs? I mean,
sorry, he's actually Italian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy as the Penguin.
Oh. Yeah.
Actually could work.
Yeah, it could. I'm the hedgehog. I mean, penguin.
Yikes.
I think that, you get, there's a Flash, there's a Green Lantern.
Right. So who has the best, actual, true-to-character performance?
I think the Superman is really, really good.
Sure.
I think that Superman's probably number one. Robin is a pretty number two.
Okay.
And then Wonder Woman's probably number three. Right. I think Green Lantern is just generic superhero. Like, he's not trying to go for a character.
Sure.
One of the things I think is funny is the costumes they got were just random Halloween ones. So the Robin one is more of that later Robin with that sort of stylistic R.
Right. Yeah.
But then for some reason the Superman one has an X over it.
Well, oh, right.
But all the other logos are there, so I don't know why he specifically.
Right.
The Flash is the one with the really big ears.
Okay, yeah,
the wings or whatever. But I mean, otherwise it's pretty good. Yeah. I think they did a good job. So I think it's the special effects are good in that one. It's just a.
Right. See, the Birds of Prey one is sticking out of my head because it's so cheap. Yeah. It's cheaper than amateur porn, I would say. But also weirdly, it opens with Huntress just snapping someone's neck, straight up killing them.
Which is whoa.
Well, I was like, oh fuck, maybe this has a story, and then it
no.
But there was a brief moment where I was like, I mean, that's kind of Huntress.
Yeah.
And I will say, the moments where there are the idea that Huntress kills and wants to kill, and the rest of them are like, don't, is at least a beat from a comic.
It's true. It's true.
Closer than most of the rest of it. Green Arrow does show up to plow Black Canary.
Well, yeah.
Although, sorry, again, porn is the funniest shit sometimes. Green Arrow's introduction, there's a haystack with an X on it. And he fires an arrow, and it very clearly misses the X. And then she shows up and goes, "You still got it." It's like he's Green Arrow, and he's 10 feet away from a target he couldn't hit.
That one clearly wasn't far at all.
It's the funniest shit.
That's amazing.
It's we're losing light. We can't do another take.
Just go. It's fine. She'll say it, and so that'll mean that it's fine. That's I think the one character. I think the one superhero character that's probably the most suited for porn is Power Girl, and that was that's the one that you've seen a lot of, I think, because it's just hey, big tits.
I mean, there seems to be a lot of Harley stuff out there.
Well, yeah, that's the newest one, and a lot of it is pretty decent, I think, considering. Because it's not hard. You just do the voice and the outfit and you're...
Again, though, with few exceptions, once the sex starts, the voice goes away.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, you don't keep that,
pound it, Mr. J.
Jesus Christ. I thought I was the one with the hammer.
I will say that
I feel
think
like we could write a good DC Comics porno that like addresses our concerns. That it's like where the characters stay characters while they're fucking, and then there's
It's
actually
true.
like some sort of
it's true. It's
story
true.
involved.
I mean, DC execs.
Yeah, DC execs, if you want to branch into the Triple X territory, hire us.
I think that I think it's the Riley Reid one where they actually have like Harley in like an insane asylum and has to like convince them to like let her out.
Does that get like kind of weird, like abuse of power kind of thing?
She really controls the situation.
Well,
so,
I guess that's better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. Jesus Christ.
That is a hilarious question to have asked. But yeah, there's
so much research
the short-
that went involved with this. Years of research. I had to go back in time.
I never thought that I would get to use this research. The short answer, though, is that the male porn stars are really the ones that get to have any sort of fun with these characters at all, which should surprise no one because it's porn.
Yeah.
But
speaking of, next email comes from Sexy Dude. The email sexydude@autodialer.com.
I love that it's a secret Simpsons reference.
That's amazing. Yeah, you're
Send
really...
$1 to Sexy Dude.
This question. Richard has obviously thought about this a lot, but what's your pitch for sexy Dr. DC fanfiction?
Oh.
Dr. DC After Dark.
Sexy Dr. DC fanfiction, I think, has to involve like side characters. I think it's got to involve Jean Valjean's.
Oh, Jean Valjean.
Has to be in there. I think Ukrainian Popeye has to be in there.
Look, John Jones, you got the great package here.
Glug, it's in my hair.
Glug, it's what I do to your cum. Glug.
Yeah, I think it's. Super Todd, I guess, is holding the camera.
Oh, it's everywhere. Oh, jeez.
Where am I supposed to point this?
How am I supposed to organize this? It's all over the floor.
God, I don't know what a sexy Dr. DC fanfic would look like.
Well, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you actually have a pitch?
Yes.
All right, let's have it. Is this one of those things where you say it jokingly, but if I'm kind of into it, then it becomes more than a pitch?
Could be much more than a pitch if you'd like it.
Pitching something.
Yeah, that's right. So it's late at night. I get a phone call.
Sure.
Someone needs to get picked up from the airport.
No.
It's Josh Gale.
Oh, okay. Good.
I
I asked you to pick my wife up from the airport the other day. I thought you were going there. I was like, you fucking monster.
It's the Podcock Network. What am I supposed to do?
Sorry. Yeah, it's Josh Gill.
Yeah. So he asks me to come pick him up. It's raining outside.
Of course.
And he's like, it's so wet and I don't have anywhere to stay. And so he's like, can I stay at your place? And I'm like, yeah, that's sure. I actually have to
get you out of those wet clothes.
Yeah. Well, I have to do some notes actually for Dr. DC tonight. If you can help me out with that.
Sure. Yeah.
And he goes, I know a lot about notes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then, so we get back to the house and I'm on the computer.
Right.
And I just feel the arm slip under mine as we're typing almost as one. I see suddenly I see on the screen, it's saying, this feels so natural. I don't know who's typing it even.
Right.
It's almost like we're typing it together.
Like the words,
yeah.
It feels so natural are typed on the screen. Okay, yeah. Like a Ouija board.
Yeah, I feel his 5 o'clock shadow against the nape of my neck.
Yeah.
We look into each other's eyes.
Yeah. Then he deadlifts you into the bedroom.
If you want the rest of this, subscribe to our Patreon.
I'm so sorry, Josh.
The rest of this will be through our $10 level.
I like how in this Dr. DC fanfic, I'm not even there.
No, you're not. No.
Or I call you to talk about the next episode, and it becomes one of those things where like you're having sex while I'm on the phone.
That's right.
With you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I don't know if it's not a subgenre.
That's never
a subgenre of porn.
That's not a thing that's ever happened to me.
Sorry, what?
Hey, man. Sometimes you need to do a phone call while you're doing something else.
Yikes.
Next question comes from Double D.
Wait, really?
With DD.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
I just assumed.
I guess assuming this episode. Yeah.
I would assume it's double D. Who asks, who is your favorite fan artist? Why? And what's your favorite piece from them?
My answer is the obvious one, and it's the artist whose work I put up when I put out the call for questions.
Yeah.
It's Stepan Sajic.
Mm-hmm.
He, first of all, I love like the quality of the color and just the way that he draws.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, he draws it's maybe some of like the sexiest fan art, and not because it's porn, but because he's drawing it very sensually, but he also understands these characters. Like, he's got a series that's like, there's one where it's like Mr. Miracle, Big Barda and that, but it's just like these people who clearly have relationships, who are clearly into each other. There's always an element of humor. Like, it's not self-serious sexy. It's like, isn't it fun that we're into each other and things like that?
Yeah.
Like, he manages to capture so many things that feel real and feel like relatable, and it's beautiful artwork. But he also, like, I think he just likes exploring just character dynamics. He did a series of ones that's Wonder Woman and Lara Croft, and was posting them on Twitter. If you haven't seen them, like, they're up there, and he put them up in order. And like, sometimes it's, one dressing the other's wounds. Or there's one where it's Wonder Woman just holding up a big stone door, and Lara's like, usually I have to do some sort of puzzle to get in through.
Yeah.
Like,
that's awesome.
So it's not all sexy either, but it's like, he's so good at understanding, like, how would these two get along? What's the relationship? What's their common ground? And it's beautiful, beautiful, like, very kind of sensual artwork. And it's so good that DC hired him.
Really?
And he did a run on Aquaman.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a bunch of just like canon Stepan Sajic DC Comics work. Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Wow. That's
his
awesome.
work, like his work on Dolphin and Mira in that is like, it's so spectacular. Definitely my favorite fan artist though. He seems to be just a wealth of ideas. He explores the sort of benign and the sexy, and sort of does it all very respectfully and tenderly. There's no kink shaming. There's none of that stuff. It's actually like, it's some of the best fan art out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is one that that I've already brought up before, and you already have a piece of art from them, is Jay Gonzo.
Yeah.
I think that his sort of vintage, sort of like 60s, like almost Flintstones-y style. I can't remember what that genre is called, but that sort of artwork style that he uses to work in DC characters. If you follow him on Instagram, I think it's Jay Gonzo Art. If you look up Jay Gonzo, you'll find it. Yeah. But his sort of art style is awesome, and it's a completely different sort of take on characters. And he's also a comic book writer. He has like a luchador comic book series called La Mano del Destino, and it's really, really, really good. It's beautiful artwork, and he's great. So I would say that Jay Gonzo definitely. I think the Aquaman that he did for you is one of my favorite. It's like
pieces. The '90s one with the rock hand. And,
it's really, really cool. I think that's probably one of my favorite that he's done so far. But I think he did a booster goal at one point that I really want. But
there's a couple of other like big ones that you've probably seen their stuff out there. But like Boss Logic and Dead Trinity both do things where they try to do fan casts for films. Try to do something like, what would this actor look like as this character? There's lots of that kind of stuff out there. And then there's also Stanley Lau, also known as Art Germ, who did a bunch of those, like the fake magazine covers. They're kind of bombshelly versions of like Black Canary, Harley, Catwoman, like those kind of characters, Supergirl. But those are also some big ones. And like Art Germ does like covers and variant covers for DC. Now, like some of these fan artists get big enough or popular enough that then they get like other work, which is kind of cool too. But
I'd also say like most of these artists are fans, and I mean I would say 100% of them almost are probably fans of other DC things. So
I don't think people are doing this out of spite.
No, so I think often when you go to comic conventions, these artists are just there and are willing to do art for whatever you can kind of ask them to do. Yeah. So I'm sure that a lot of you have already paid for it. I would love to see some of the art that you've paid for these artists to do. So if you want to post them on our Twitter, #fanart. art.
Yeah.
And I would love to see if there's any sort of like work that you've gotten done from DC artists of a character maybe they haven't done before.
Totally.
And I would love to see those interpretations. Those are great.
Likewise, if you are a writer of fan fiction,
send us your links.
Send us a link. Like, like this, it's not necessarily a thing I think to go to.
Yeah.
Before we were doing this episode.
A story that you really like that we haven't talked about on this episode.
Exactly. So if there's a go-to that you enjoy reading, or if there's one that you wrote, send us the links so that we can also enjoy them. That would be great.
All right. Well, before we move on, we've got a voicemail.
Oh, okay.
So let's listen to that.
Hey guys, hope the show is going well. It's Stumpy calling again.
Stump!
What up? Got a dial doc here. It's just a dude. He's a villain, and he kind of has like the negative, bad aspects of all the powers that Shazam gets from all the gods and stuff. So and he doesn't have to say Shazam to do it or something like that. He just gets it for the power. And his name is Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like it.
That's really good. That's awesome. I like the idea that he gets all the same abilities, but doesn't have to say it. So it's just.
Well, but does he say he gets the negative?
Yes.
So does that mean instead of getting the power of Zeus, like the lightning, he gets Zeus's insatiable lust? Is he getting the?
He's just having sex with mortal women, left and right. Is he still getting
a power from Zeus or a trait from Zeus?
Yeah.
It's just the bad shit.
That's really funny. Oh, I like that. That's awesome. Shit. Really have not thought about this at all.
Oh,
just hopefully vamping. But we're obviously with that voicemail, that leads us to the next segment, which is Dial Doc. So if you're new to the show, I'm so sorry. This is the first episode you're listening to.
Yeah.
I doubt you've gotten this far, but if you have, Dial Doc is a thing that we do. It's a segment every week that we, it's taken from the Dial H for Hero comics from that now have been brought back, but existed a long time ago. And the idea is basically that a character dials Hero into a payphone and gets transformed into a random hero for a small allotted amount of time. I think it's an hour, maybe a little
Something
bit longer.
Like that,
so we try to come up with our own Dial Doc this week. I
have one. I'm not proud of it, but I have one.
I'm sorry, I've been proud of the previous ones.
So proud. This one's called Dildo Baggins. It's a short, hairy-footed guy with a bag full of dildos, and some of them are exploding ones, and some of them are electric ones. Instead of batarangs or whatever, he's got just a big bag full of specific use dildos that he can throw at people. But he looks like a hobbit. That's Dildo Baggins.
Okay, my character's name is Kumquaman.
Oh, God. You can't call him Kumquat or something?
No, Kumquaman. He's got most of the same powers as Aquaman, but with gum. And so he can pull it out of people's bodies and use it like water from Aquaman. But it's only.
So he's actually got Mira's powers. But
yes. But it's Kumquaman.
Jesus. That is. I mean this in the nicest way possible. Vile.
Imagine just drowning your enemies.
No, I'd rather not. Jesus.
I mean, either way, it would have been salty, but
Jesus. Fucking maniac. Wow.
Oh, well, I would love.
Those were theme appropriate.
I would love to hear your theme appropriate Dial Doc characters.
It's a dangerous call to put out there.
Do you think that you can come up with a character that won't get you banned from that social media platform? I dare you.
I mean, we don't need to push the envelope.
You fucking incel cucks. Let's.
If I didn't mention it off the top, if you are an incel or you use the word cuck in that right wing way, turn off the podcast, unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Go away.
That's right. You fucking incel cucks.
Jesus. Stop saying it. Stop willing them into existence.
Send your Dial Doc by using the hashtag guess what it is? It's hashtag DialDoc.
That's right.
That's right. We're real clever. Send us your idea for a hero or a villain, hopefully sexually themed. Or you can also just send us a question for the next week episode, which is...
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Okay, that's fine. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And then, or you can just talk to us online. We send us the links to things you want us to talk about on the show, news articles, themes that you might be interested in. Yeah. You can do so through our various social media platforms, such as our Facebook account,
Dr. DC Podcast,
our Twitter
at Dr. DC,
Instagram,
Dr. DC Podcast.
You can send us an email,
drdcpodcast@gmail.com.
And then we have this fancy subreddit
r/Dr_DC.
I love the conversations we're having on there. Hopefully we can grow that community a little bit more, but I'm seeing more happen on it every week, so that makes me excited. But not only can you talk to us online, but you can also sort of read some of the stuff that we've already developed. So on our website, we have some articles, so you go to that website,
drdcpodcast.com or .ca.
And we also have links to our merchandise.
That's right.
So go on there.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch. We got some new stuff on there. And obviously you heard today, but you can call us. The doc phone is now open. Leave us a voicemail at 208-917-3238. That's
208-917-DCEU.
That's right. If you like to fuck, DCEU.
DCEU if you're nasty.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, give me those dirty little tootsies.
Jesus. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see those little dirty tootsies.
Let's not get into this right now.
Sexy little feet.
No, let's not get into this.
Yeah, you dirty little tootsies.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Because I brought up hobbits?
Oh, yeah. Those hairy little tootsies.
They're not little at all.
No, they're big. Yeah, they're big and thick. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. We're heading towards 30. When we get 30, we'll do a live stream episode. So
yeah, we'll do a video episode.
Yeah, you're goddamn lucky we hadn't gotten 30 because this might have been the one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is that pounding you?
Yeah.
You really rough it up, don't you?
Well,
Bring down Thor's hammer, if you know what I mean.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Oh, that sounded good. Also, we have that Patreon account. I've mentioned it a few times now, but make sure you go and subscribe to our Patreon. We just did a commentary track for Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. We did an episode with a resident, Stump Chunkman, or better known as Adam Upper. Yeah. We've done. You can listen to our pilot pitch for the Alfred movie or TV show.
There's all sorts of great stuff up there.
A bunch of stuff on there.
Patreon.com/DrDC. That's
right. And for that's this week. So we'll talk to you guys next week or this Friday if you're a Patreon subscriber.
That's right.
Otherwise, we'll talk to you same time, same channel, same boat. Dr. DC. Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Heroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.